New year, new plan, new milestones, and obviously new opportunities to help you grow and expand your practice in 2021. Hi, I'm Prabin Gautam, your trusted marketing advisor. I help entrepreneurs and enterprises just like yours to build the digital brand and monetize it. Obviously, 2021, this is the first episodes after, practice growth, first episodes for 2021. And I'm really looking forward to have you all on the show. And if you're watching this right now from Facebook, Instagram, or any of the channels like YouTube or LinkedIn Live, feel free to give us a thumbs up or share the post or quickly comments or tag your friends. Now, today's topic is very much in general about the content and marketing success for 2021. And I've been often, when I talk with the practice owners, just like you, they talk about, okay, Praveen, one of the challenges, the content writing in healthcare industry, it's always a challenge, and the technicalities and persuasions, and whether that maybe these days running the ads, or in your website, it's a very tactical. So that's why I have got a special guest here, Carmel Pauls, who is our senior marketing and communication specialist at Vision 360. She focuses on our healthcare industry, especially writing and persuasion and all the ads. So let me welcome her to the show. Welcome to the show, Carmel. Great to have you.
Hi, Pravin.
Good. All right, straight, Carmel, I'm talking to you as a communication specialist, and our viewers right now, they're curious to know about, obviously, the trends of 2020, and so many things have changed, and it's changing, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
Online space, it's a lot of things are changing. So they want to know a little bit about the content and marketing success, in especially focusing on healthcare industry. And I thought, no better than you, who can add value, and we have been delivering a great results for our clients. Let's start with very, very basic today to our viewers who are watching this. What is healthcare marketing, Carmel?
We see healthcare marketing everywhere. In fact, anything that promotes and protects the public health. So I suppose a good example of this would be recent communications that we've seen with COVID, and the government communication. So prior to COVID, we had no idea what it was and infections rates and how to protect ourselves from this infection. So we relied heavily on the government to try and disseminate information quickly to us so we could learn about it and how we can protect ourselves. So that's really important. We've seen information on billboards, we've seen information in a lot of different places, on buses, in bus shelters, in clinics, that talks about how we can protect ourselves from COVID, wearing masks, social distancing, that type of thing. So basically anything that you see that delivers and promotes and protects the public. I suppose in regards to dental surgeries, they have an obligation, carrying on the example with COVID, they have an obligation to ensure that they give information to their patients about how to protect themselves from COVID, social distancing, masks, hand sanitizing while in the clinic. So it filters through to local businesses and in particular to certain clinics and healthcare professionals. While we're on the subject of dental surgeries, also information on websites, leaflets, posters that you would see in the clinic in regards to disseminating information on things like the importance of brushing your teeth and constant examinations, just to make sure that we maintain our health generally. So that type of information is really important, healthcare information. One final one that I'd like to touch on also is product information. So every day we could be in the pharmacy picking up a packet of Panadol or, a teeth whitening product, and we rely heavily on dosage information, warnings, ingredients, that type of information, so we can make an informed health decision whether or not that product is right for us.
You bet. Now that's a great example, and I think with all the COVID, and still we are in a COVID, still a lot of the cities, and we're hearing all these things. I think it has been a very sensitive. I mean, it's the way of communication or sending the message has it need to be very much with urgency, isn't it? Speed is a critical factor. Is that right?
That's right. And the COVID information was really important because, and very simplistic, stop the spread. I don't know, obviously you guys have seen that government, very simple message, very simple communication to get the message out very quickly and succinctly to ensure that we protect ourselves from this virus.
You bet. Nah, that's I think it has been a more important than ever to have a healthcare marketing or the communications. It has been a more important than ever, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, definitely, especially in this day and age. So we need to make informed decisions about our health. If you get the incorrect information, if there's a lack of information, it could pose a risk to us and our livelihoods, our life. So, extreme situations, but we need to make sure that we have the correct information, and the government is regulating that.
You bet. Now that also, we mentioned government is regulating that. What is that? Because, a lot of our viewers, obviously, some of our in dental industry, cosmetics, obviously medical industry and physios and allied health, there's a whole spectrum right there through whole 360 spectrum. So in a very nutshell, in a very layman term, what is the difference between healthcare marketing different to other forms of marketing in general?
Well, as I mentioned, it's highly regulated, and you have to work within that environment. You have to be very conscious about what claims you make, and it's for good reason. You're dealing with people's lives, so it's the government's way to protect the public. Misleading, lack of ads, it actually influences our healthcare choices, and the government wants to minimise that risk. So that's why we see a lot of regulation around healthcare marketing. For example, and back to the COVID example, if we had received no information on COVID, no information on how to protect ourselves, in extreme situation, it could affect our life. We could possibly die, contract the illness. But then there's also, in less serious situations, there's also other implications that could impact us as well if we're not given the right information or if we don't receive that information.
You bet. And obviously, and that's where it is so much important. And at 360 and, at Viz, obviously, we have a specialized team with specialized knowledge. And we're so honored to have someone like you in the team who heads up the team and look after all the communications and marketing. Now, would that also right in saying if they, obviously, we have in last few months, we have seen so many practices have received the notice about whether that may be penalty, whether that may be advertising guidelines. What's your thought? Would they what happen if they have a mislead or if they didn't provide the right information?
Well, AFRA, which is basically the governing body for healthcare professionals with advertising, this is the Australian Health Practitioner Regulation Agency, and they basically dictate or provide guidelines on how we advertise. And if those regulations aren't adhered to, there's serious penalties, fines. So it's taken quite seriously, and healthcare professionals should take it seriously. They should be on top of what the regulations are, and also work very closely with their marketing alliance to make sure that the correct and the proper information is distributed to the public.
Right. So obviously, I would imagine the guidelines or communications changes regularly. So if our viewers would like to read about the latest guideline, APRA guideline, where would anything you would refer at the moment?
Well, the guidelines, we've written some pieces on our 360 Dental page, so on our Facebook page, and also there's been a blog written on our website as well. So, and that provides all the appropriate links. So if you really want to get up to date with all that stuff, please have a look. It has all the information, or give us a call, and we're happy to go through any concerns you may have regarding the guidelines.
Beautiful. Now that's good. Actually, I have gone through the guidelines, and we were talking about with a number of the teams about that. I think what you have covered up is very succinct. So those viewers who are watching this right now and looking for the latest guideline for 2021, just drop us an email at info@360dentalmarketing.com.au, and Carmel and the team would definitely send you, or as is, if you head to our websites as well. So there is a blog topic there, so you can easily find out, no problem. That's very good, Carmel. So Now let's talk about the trends. Obviously in dental services, let's focus on more on dental service, and obviously, what sort of the trends are we looking on 2021? What is the trend have you are seeing at the moment?
In regards to trend, there's more of a push towards, in regards to digital advertising. There's more of a focus on paid advertising as opposed to organic, and that's because the algorithms have changed recently. So it's really important to hop on that advertising wheel, because you may get left behind. So algorithms have changed. There's more focus on paid advertising, and there's like 60% more opportunity to really convert your leads if you're using paid advertising.
You bet. And it's obviously, when you look about 3, 4, 5 years back, and now it's so much changed, isn't it? And it's changing. I mean, we had to talk about the investments of color, but the first meeting only we had to talk about the budget from the client. So it's a very different scenarios, and that's where a lot of the footprint from Google and Facebook and number of the giant social media companies are just saying, okay, we'll give you all the reach, but you got to pay it. You got to have that the clear budget, and that's where the thing is. But one other things I want to highlight as well is it's not just the budget, isn't it? Because sometimes we have also seen number of the clients we have left other companies, and they come and join. They come and obviously we are helping them. It's not about only the budget. There's so much the copywriting, so much context behind it. Is that right? Content and context behind it, Carmen.
That's
What's
right.
your thought on that?
It is. Well, writing, it pretty much a science. So there's rules that I type of, when I'm sitting down and I'm about to write, I think about and I look about a humanistic approach. So, I want my reader to feel comfortable, to have faith in the service that's being provided. And I need to get that information for them to feel comfortable in order for us to convert sales and make something out of this. It's not about just writing copious notes and making the website look really good in that respect. It's about your reader or your potential patient, you're actually getting something out of it. So you need to be short, sharp, succinct. Make sure you're answering the questions. Ensure that you're really looking at and feeling what the patient may be feeling. They may feel a bit anxious about getting a treatment done, or they're unsure about contacting the dental agency. So I suppose in that respect, you need to answer those questions, make them feel comfortable, and then hopefully you'll see some results for that. Frequently asked questions are really important, and I use them quite often to try and get information out fast. If you blabble on and you don't get quick information out fast, you'll lose them. They'll just, click out and onto another website, another search. So that's really important.
You bet. Hardly there's under 30 seconds, people click it or they roll over, and there's something it need to be very different than what others are providing or what the competitors are providing. Now, that's a great tips, Carmen. Now, also, you have recently done such a great work, and we are just launching our new cosmetic clinics in Melbourne, and I'm just sharing my screen. Would you like to give our viewers a little bit heads up? I mean, what did you do? What was the process look like? It was just to start the websites, or design-wise, or what was? Would you able to share a little bit on this, please?
It's been a great team effort with Jacobson Dental. It's been a great project to work on. The team's been great in collaborating together. There's been some very structured, and that's very important, structured content strategy, and basically a framework that we can then use to base all our information on. So, a combination of text, but also breaking that up with really emotive and eye-catching imagery for, just to keep the patient engaged and informed about our services. So it's about, like I said, succinct copy, following a strategy, actioning that, doing appropriate call to actions, and keeping that consistency not only in the website but throughout all our advertising efforts, even in social media. So that consistency across website and socials is really, really important. And it really gives the patient belief that, you know, these guys have got it together, they're professional, and I can trust their service.
Now that's great, Kamil. And obviously, I'm just I hope that the viewers here, they can see we have even just launched the 360 as well, 360 whole photography, so people can see, people can, even before they visit the dental practice. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah,
I mean, what technologies can the people can do, even while sitting there, they can able to see the whole practice, they can visit it. It's just amazing how things are changing these days, isn't it, Carmen?
Yeah, exactly. And let's in terms of patients, a lot of us are very anxious about going to the dentist. It's not something we look forward to, in a nutshell. So we, through providing a warm environment, call to actions, call our friendly staff, etc. Those type of things, putting imagery up of happy staff, for example, is really important, very crucial to getting that phone call and converting sales, really. You
bet. Now, it's all about that wow factor, isn't it? Because honestly, these days, website is not just a brochure. It is more like a front, soft front, or if you say, I say normally as a lead machine. It's a lead machine for your patients to check it out, obviously book their appointments, and obviously pass that referrals to their friends and families. It's the front face of the business. Isn't that right?
Exactly. And it's about the credibility as well. So, for example, you may be driving and hear a certain company being advertised or anything like that. You may get home or just quickly look on your phone and say, okay, wow, these guys are credible because they have a really good looking website. So that's probably the first thing. It's that image. Wow, they've got it together. And then they may refer to it at a later stage to read the content. So that's really important, that first impression. Even though they may not even read anything at first, that first impression is really important for a later stage for them to go and say, well, that's right, Jacobson Dental, they had a really good looking website. I need a service. I might try and look for that service and
absolutely. Absolutely. So what you're saying is it need to have the good feel factor, feel functionalities, and that's where the content will stand out, right? Otherwise, even whatever the content you write, if the structure is not good, and I remember, when we were doing the Jacobson Dental, and I was quite fascinated when one of our new cosmetic dental marketing expert joined, and he shows that it's not just start with the design, it's start with the structure of the website. So, and he was very clear on what pages to rank, how the pages can be found by the patients. And that's how I think he have given the whole structure to you and the team. So it became very clear. So what we are aiming here is a more strategy side. Yeah, Carmen?
That's exactly right. And receiving popular keywords that have been sourced. So that's another challenging thing in regards to copywriting, is that you're working with certain keywords that are going to be effective in searches. So it's not about just writing anything that's not going to be found. It's about getting found online and being top of mind. So incorporating keywords is an important factor in copywriting, especially digital.
You bet. So what we're saying is strategy need to be then, and then obviously action with the right proper content writer with a call of action very clearly. And anything you want to shed some light about consistency, because sometimes what frustrates me is as when we go to any of the websites, like any dental practice or any websites, and when you go to their LinkedIn page or Facebook page or Instagram page or whatever the channels out there, it's just so different. The informations are so different. The copy is different. The pictures are different. Even I hate to say this, but even the tagline is different of the logo. Can you believe it?
I think sometimes certain companies, the most important thing they feel is to get a website completed. So they'll work really hard, get the website done, then they'll forget about it. But it's not about forgetting about it. And then they might at a different stage thinking, oh, wow, I need to have some Facebook presence or Instagram presence. So, okay, let's quickly do something now, forgetting about having a consistency with branding and copy throughout. So that's where it becomes disjointed. And that's where certain companies start looking unprofessional, because we expect as consumers or patients to have that consistency, that professionalism. If I click on a website and it's really slow, or the copy doesn't make sense, or anything like that, what I think about is, well, if they can't get this right, what service are they providing me? So
you bet. And that's where the thing is, when the patients or when the buyers out there, when it's confused, obviously confused mind don't buy or don't generate appointments. So I think the clarity need to be consistency throughout all across the channel. Plus, if I can add something here, across your offline as well, isn't it? Because when you see something online about us is one thing, but when you have a brochures or flyers or something hands out, another thing, how do you feel? So it needs to have a consistency so the message resonates well to your patients or to your buyers, if you like. Is that right?
That's exactly right. We for our security, for our trust in the organisation and dental surgery, we need to see consistency, and we need to see that they've got it together. That affects our opinion of the service provided.
Yep.
And we have an expectation. We're online all the time now. We have an expectation to see professionalism.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, any other thing, I'm conscious with the time, any other thing you want to quickly share in terms of the trend, or anything which we haven't covered up here today?
I think that's pretty much it, unless there's anything that you want to add. But I suppose, just referring back to our Facebook page and also the website for detailed information on the AFRA guidelines, that's really important, and to look at those in depth, because it's important. And not following the right protocol, not following the right regulation will have repercussions. So it's really important for healthcare professionals to be on top of that, and not making fleeting comments. Absolutely. That may get you into trouble.
And that's where recently we have seen some obviously some businesses, they have been trying to dominate, but in a very different. So you need a specialized team or specialized people with specialized knowledge. Simple as that, isn't it?
That's right.
It's a very specialized industry. So that's where I think we are very proud to have someone like you and the team who heads up the whole copywriting and content writing, and make sure that all our content, all our copywriting, all our advertisement are compliance, and they're well, are on top of it. So we for us and for our clients, they are very peace in mind. That's good. All right. Thank you so much for your time, Carmel. Really looking forward to having you more often. Obviously, you're very, very busy on helping clients and delivering number of projects, but really looking forward to have you more in my show.
Thanks, Prabin.
Beautiful. Thanks again.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episodes with Carmel Pauls, our senior communications and marketing specialist. All we are aiming for 2021 is how to really have a content and marketing success for your practice in 2021. It's all about having that lead machine, your front machine, which can help your patients to drive more appointments, more revenues, more profit. So on that note, if you are looking for a trusted marketing advisor who can help you to build your brand and monetize it, feel free to reach out to me directly. All my details are just right here, praveen@viznetwork.com.au. So until then, you take care. Bye for now. Cheers.